Hi, welcome back to Trip Reviews. We all know that all worldwide businesses have been affected really heavily by this virus, the pandemic. And no business across the entire spectrum has been more affected, I think, than the travel industry, and in particular, cruise lines. They have really been hit hard. Crew members are having it rough. Passengers have had it rough. Everything's been going bad for these guys. And let's have a look right now at what I have just learned and what I have found out coming right up. Let me say thank you for subscribing to my channel, and I welcome the thumbs up and your comments. Don't forget to subscribe if you like informative videos like this one. So what's happening in the cruise line world? We all know that not only have all operations are suspended, but all the lines have fleets of floating prisons all around the globe with nowhere to go. So what is happening with these cruise ships? Well, they're scattered all around the world, anchored and floating out at sea. Partly, there just isn't enough space to store these ships in, the harbors, the cruise ports, because docking fees for one thing, and there's just too many ships for them, to overflow them. It's expensive to dock. Some ports are charged by tonnage, some charged by the length, and the prices throughout the world are not consistent. They're different everywhere. Some examples. Now, Harmony of the Seas in Miami would cost them $81,720 a day to dock that ship. Port Everglades, it drops down a bit, $60,881. And Port Canaveral, $15,693. Now that gives you quite a difference, quite a spread in the same state. Now, Celebrity Solstice, you're almost $44,000 at Miami, you're almost $33,000 at Everglades, and Canaveral, you're just over $10,000 to dock that ship. So, from that you can see why the cruise lines are saving billions of dollars just by floating these ships out at sea. They're still having to pay some crew, and the docking charge is saving that helps them because they're burning billions of dollars a month just keeping these things floating around for absolutely doing nothing. Now, I guess the cruise line industry, they kind of discovered here what Charlton Heston once said: a boat is a hole in the water you throw money into. Well, satellite photographs here, they're showing where all these ships are at anyway. Around the Caribbean and the Florida and Bahamas area. Now the prisoners, the crew, as of May the 5th, there are 57,000 plus crew members stranded on board 74 cruise ships in and about the U.S. and the Bahamas and the Caribbean. Hundreds elsewhere on the world's oceans. Many crew members have completed their contracts, so there's no work for them to do, nothing to perform. They're just now being allowed out of their rooms, a lot of them, because they've been in quarantine. A lot of the areas of the ships are off bounds to them. There's no swimming pools to use, there's no hot tubs to use, no passenger gyms, no stage shows to see, nothing really to do. Some ships and some lines, there's not even TV for them to watch, and the internet goes in and out. So these poor folks are getting really bored here and tied down to do nothing. Now, a lot of these people, the crew members, they're being housed okay. They're given a place to sleep and they're being given some food. But, they're stuck. They're how do you say this word? Repatriated to their homes. It's not happening in some cases because there's just no international flights. Some of the cruise lines have put the crew together and they've joined them all in one ship, and they're trying to get them back to their home ports. But that's not happening with all of them. It's happening with Carnival Line, and so they've been doing some of that. But part of the reason too is these the home countries for a lot of these crew members, they just can't afford to take them on if they're being sick. There's that fear of hundreds of them coming back home and they're going to come down with the virus, and cruise ships are not registered in countries like the States, the United States. So they're in places like Panama or the Bahamas or Nassau, and they don't have a place to put all these sick people if they are sick in need. So, one of these, when can they return to their families? Well, the German cruise line, I don't know if you pronounce this as one word or what, but TUI, their ship, Mein Schiff 3. And it's been in Germany for several weeks now. They got 2,900 crew on that ship. They're getting restless. They're complaining about issues with their pay, their health risk, and there's lack of communication from the company itself. On May the 2nd, police had to board the ship because there was some crew matter. Crew got upset and worked up. They were not too pleased with things and started kicking things around and busting some holes in the ceiling and stuff like that. So people are getting restless. They're getting tired of being on these ships for weeks and weeks on end with nothing to do. Now, to calm down a bit now, it's a little more relaxed. The cruise line, they brought all their crew, they're trying to repatriate them. They brought them all aboard this one ship and went to Germany figuring they could fly out, but that was on like the 28th, I think it was, or something like that. And then on the 30th, they came down. 9 of them came down with, tested positive for coronavirus. And one of them had to go to the hospital. May the 7th, there's another announcement, the arrangements that going to repatriate the first 1,200 of the crew. So it's coming along. It's getting better for some of the people. Meanwhile, there's been over 100 Jamaicans that have been flown home from the UK. 75 were crew members, 40 were in the UK for other purposes, other reasons. And they were all going to have to go under a 14-day quarantine when they get back to Jamaica. Now, just announced, there's been a handful of Canadian crew aboard Holland America's, the Koningsdam. They're going to be disembarked in Los Angeles. Apparently on Friday it was supposed to happen. And there's another group aboard the Emerald Princess who's going to do the same thing. They're going to be sent home, Saturday. Today, I'm recording this on Sunday. So the Princess Cruises said that they've got up to 19 Canadians and 29 Americans disembarking with an effort there with Holland American Seabourn. They're going to be on their way home too. On Saturday, 53 Canadians, 70 Americans are scheduled to leave Emerald Princess, the Canadian citizens set to fly home from Miami. It's looking brighter for the cruise members, still stuck out at sea, but who knows when they're all going to be able to return home, and they still have to keep some people on the ships too. They have to keep things operating. Now, some people, they're blaming the cruise lines. It's not all the cruise lines' fault. You got to, the CDC, that's partly their fault. They've made these rules up where they can't come into the country, or, strict rules on how they're going to get home if they do come into port. So, what's going to happen here now? I don't know. Soon, Carnival, they're planning on sailing in August. We'll have to see what's going to happen there. Once these ships pull anchor, maybe some crew will get back to work. Cruise lovers will be back on deck. And I thank everybody once again for checking in.